Alright, here's the plan. I'm getting up at 5 in the morning, going out to the field, and going to fly to Everly for the 4th of July. Jennifer and Helen will come later and pick me up in their car. If anything goes wrong, my dad will catch me the other direction. Well, after a flaky ground wire, I finally got up. It was quite a bit later than I wanted to, but still pretty early. That there up to the top right is Germantown. It's kind of hard to see in this clip, but that town to the left there, originally I thought it was Alton, but the winds were blowing so hard that it turns out it was Hosper, so I'm quite a bit further north than I thought. To break it down a little bit more, my wing usually flies about 20 mile an hour, but I had such a strong tailwind up high, I was actually reaching speeds of 49 miles per hour, so that's a 29 mile an hour tailwind to the north. If anybody can tell me what is in that field, it looks like a bean field, but then maybe a test plot, but I can't imagine a test plot being broken down that small. It's got to be something else. Leave it in the comments below if you know. These power lines run right by our house, so if I was heading back with zero wind, I could follow them all the way back to Remsen. I just videotaped this because I just love the look of any creek or river from the air. It just looks like it's part of the Amazon or something. If you get down low, you can't really tell scale, so it looks like an epic thing. This is just a tiny little creek, but still pretty cool looking. After my course correction at Hospers and turning and flying mostly to the east, I've come upon Hartley, which is about 5 miles away from my folks' house, so not too bad for dead reckoning. This is the Hartley ethanol plant. I know my father and brother deliver a lot of corn to here. You can see all the trains lined up ready to take away the ethanol after it's been processed and ship it all over to Iowa. At this point I'm thinking to myself, that is one giant hayfield, but turns out it isn't. It's a regular old corn or beans that they accidentally sprayed and killed. It was not the correct chemical they put on there, so it is being replanted, I believe. I know you've all seen the PSAs about don't text and drive, but I haven't actually seen one about texting and flying, so I believe I'm okay here. That's Dave Sand and Gravel, and the gravel road you see there right in front of us goes right by my folks' house. I'm a little far to the north, but only by a tenth of a mile or so. At this point, I realized, man, the wind is blowing a little stronger than I thought it was. So I'm really struggling to head south. I'm making about 5 miles an hour, which it'll get me there, but none too quick. That river you see there is the Little Sioux. It goes through my folks' house, through Everly, and all the way to Spencer, where it dumps into the Big Sioux. If you look closely there, you can see some of Dad's beehives, just there by the river. Up to this point, we've had a really smooth ride, but getting low here, and I'm not sure if it's the big trees on the one end or what, but I am getting a lot of turbulence, and that's bouncing me around pretty heavily. At this point, with all the turbulence, I'm contemplating just kind of landing there in that switchgrass, but I figure that stuff's probably 4 or 5 feet tall, so I'm going to chance it and keep going for a bit. Here I'm doing a flyby by my folks' house. All those white objects there, they are martin houses that keeps track of those birds. My original plan was to land on that gravel driveway you see there, but with the wind out of the north, there's a lot of rotor from those trees, so I didn't think it was safe. My final plan is to land on that driveway there on the way to the RV park. We'll see how that goes. Not too bad. Here's some statistics for my flight. For that 20-mile-an-hour wing, I was able to reach 49 miles an hour. That means there's a 29-mile-an-hour tailwind. I had a max height of 3,044 feet above the ground, or 4,450 feet above sea level, and the total distance was 44.5 miles in an hour and 18 minutes.